Greetings! Welcome back to the channel that no one watches. While I'm on the subject, please watch my videos, okay? Thank you. Okay, Doctor Who Series 11, Episode 5, the Tsuranga Conundrum. I think I might have slightly mispronounced that, but fuck it, I'm going with it because I don't care how you pronounce the damn thing. So yeah, the Tsuranga Conundrum. Now, there's only two ways this video is going to go. I'm either going to say I liked the episode, or I hated it because it was shit and boring like everyone else is saying. Which one's it gonna be? Okay, so, apparently everyone hates this episode. Can't see how, because I quite like it actually. I seem to be in a bit of a minority in that respect. Yeah, I like the Tsuranga Conundrum. So what? I thought it was a perfectly enjoyable episode. Yeah. Okay, where should I start? Oh yeah, that's good, I'll start there. Right, so, okay, first of all, this is probably one of the most visually impressive episodes that we've ever had on the show. I must give it credit for that. It looks bloody amazing. Secondly, it's a base under siege. It's a base under siege story, and I really have trouble saying base under siege. So yeah, it's a base under siege story, which is they're always enjoyable because they're a good kind of Doctor Who story. I mean, just see half of the Troutman episodes for more on that. So yeah, we got a good kind of episode, a really impressive looking episode as well. Okay, maybe the side characters are a bit naff, and maybe the companions are shoved off to the side for the most part, and the Doctor's gets too enthusiastic about a fucking power generator and all that, and there's a bit too much talking, which I'll admit, this series there has been quite a lot of dialogue to the point where it's starting to feel like a fucking Shakespeare play with not a lot of action whatsoever. Now, sorry, someone's just texted me and I've completely just lost my train of thought now. Bugger. God damn it! So yeah, I will admit there are flaws with this episode, definitely. It can drag in a few places. The side characters are a bit naff. The companions don't have a lot to do, and the Doctor feels a bit off in some places as well, if I'm honest. But it's a base under siege story, which are usually pretty good, and it looks really good in terms of visual quality. I'll get onto the villain later because I know that's what everyone wants to talk about. Now, in terms of people calling this one boring, can't really see where they're coming from with this. I mean, maybe it's just me, because, I don't know what it is, but for some there's a motorbike out there. Pizza! I don't know, maybe it's just me, but for some reason I very rarely ever find anything in Doctor Who boring. I mean, I don't think I've ever found modern Doctor Who boring at all in the slightest, and after having seen pretty much every single bit of classic Doctor Who that still exists, I don't know, there's only a very few handful of times I've ever felt classic Doctor Who's been a bit of a snooze fest, and modern Doctor Who is, well, it's like barely ever. I can't remember a time where I've been bored with modern Doctor Who, and there's only ever been a handful of times in the classic series where I've been a bit off-put by its... So maybe that's just me being unable to feel boredom while watching anything with Doctor Who printed on it. But I don't know, I wasn't bored with this one. I found it quite entertaining. Maybe it's the cool visual effects or just how unusual it is. That's another thing I want to talk about. How it's quite an unusual episode. We've got quite a visually impressive setting. We've got quite a nice premise with the base under siege in a spaceship hospital. We've got a pregnant man, for fuck's sake, which is just, oddly enough, one of the least weird things that Doctor Who's ever come up with. And we've got quite an unusual kind of villain for this story. More on the villain later, as I promised. Some people don't like it when Doctor Who goes all whacked out and crazy. Personally, I really fucking love it. I mean, come on, we've got things like... Personally, I really like it when Doctor Who gets weird. That's why I enjoy Happiness Patrol and Shirt So, amongst a lot of other things. Yeah, they're going to stay in the background for the rest of this video now. So I enjoy it when it gets really weird and there's something on the lens. Some people don't like it when Doctor Who gets unusual and weird, and to them I say fuck off, it's Doctor Who, what do you expect? It's supposed to be weird. So that's why I kind of liked the Tsuranga Conundrum more than most people, I'd expect. I just didn't find it boring and actually found it kind of engaging in a lot of places. It was really visually impressive and I thought it was quite entertaining. I mean, that's how I felt. You can't argue with that. Although I'm sure someone probably will if anyone actually watches this. So yeah, I'm repeating myself a lot of times here, but I didn't find it boring. I found it quite interesting. It was very visually impressive and very visually engaging, if that's a thing. And I just think people are shitting on this episode way too much. It wasn't boring. At least I didn't think it was. And, yeah, I get it has some problems, but so does every other episode. I mean, no episode is absolutely perfect. Well, I don't know, apart from Scherzo. I mean, this is my favourite Doctor Who story right now, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, all episodes have at least one thing wrong with them, so this one's not any different. It just so happens to have a few more negative points in people's opinions. So, yeah, I kind of liked it. Okay, let's talk about the main villain. I'm really dedicating an entire section of this video to just talking about this little guy. I fucking love this thing. It's hilarious. I love it. Okay, obviously this villain is cute as hell, and a lot of people have bashed it for not being scary, and that being the main reason they don't like this episode, or one of the main reasons. Now, maybe the intention was that it was supposed to be scary. I can't really see how they were intending to make this thing look scary, or be scary, when they intentionally designed it like this. But, maybe it was supposed to be scary, I don't know, but it's really not. It isn't scary, it's just kind of cute and funny, if anything. But it's still a threat. It's still eating the fucking spaceship, you know, that they're on. People have said, why don't they just pick it up and throw it out the airlock? Did everyone seem to forget the fact that they literally said in the episode that if you touched it, its skin would, like, kill you with poison or something? It's literally poisonous to the touch. Does no one remember that line in the episode, or were they all too bored with it by that point? I guess that must have been the case, and me not being bored with it is why I picked up on that. Gonna be honest, I'm actually kind of okay with this villain not being scary. It's still a threat, but it's not scary. Come on, the fucking Candyman wasn't scary, but, I mean, he was still a threat. I can enjoy the fact that something isn't what you'd expect in Doctor Who, and even if it doesn't quite work in most people's eyes, I don't know, I can just go along with it. Easy. So even though the Pating wasn't scary, it was still a threat, and I still enjoy it for, you know, posing some kind of threat, even if it wasn't bloody horrifying like a fucking xenomorph. So what if the episode wasn't scary? Just enjoy it for being a bit wacky and quirky and weird, like Doctor Who often is. Can't you just enjoy it for that? Again, maybe you have to be a weirdo like me to not find this thing boring and thus appreciate this point I'm trying to make, but okay, I like this episode quite a bit actually. I'd probably give it a 6 if I was going to score these, but I didn't. If I was scoring these episodes, I would probably give this like a 5 or a 6 to be honest, because I actually found it kind of interesting. I mean, I'd probably say it's stronger than the spider one from last time, because that had a few plot holes. Well, not plot holes, but yeah, it may have had a couple minor plot holes and a few morality holes here and there, but overall, I'd say this one was stronger than that one, from my point of view, anyway. Oh, before I completely finish up talking about the villain, I hope to God they bring out toys of this thing, because if they don't, it's going to be like Mr. Sweet all over again. They're going to miss out on such a great toy opportunity with this thing. I don't care if it was a crap villain, I want a fucking toy of this. Yeah, I'm a bit of an overgrown man-child when it comes to a lot of things. And it says a lot about me when I'm 17 coming up to 18 at the end of next month, and I still like to collect the Sonic Screwdriver toys when the new ones come out. That kind of says a lot about my love for this show, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let's see if I can wrap this video up in a way that's actually going to make it make sense to people. Shall we? Okay, right. Can't think of a whole lot more to say on this one, to be honest. Yeah, just fueling people's ideas that it's a boring episode by me saying I can't think of a lot to say about it, even though I kind of found it quite interesting and quite entertaining, actually. Okay, so the Tsuranga Conundrum. Can't think of a whole lot to say about it at the moment, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it, unlike a lot of people. Yeah, it kind of dragged and was fairly boring in some places. Yeah, it had too much dialogue and exposition to the point where it felt like a fucking Shakespeare play. Yeah, the side characters are a bit naff and the companions have sod all to do, apart from Yaz drop-kicking a fucking Pating across the corridor. Yeah, the Doctor's a bit in the background again. She kind of has been a lot this series. But it is very visually impressive, and I didn't find it all that boring, to be honest. It's quite a, you know, it's a bit of a weirdish episode, so I like it for that. It's a cool base under siege idea. Yeah, the main villain was basically something out of fucking Lilo and Stitch, but how can you say no to this thing? It's fucking lovely. I love it. It's amazing. It's almost as good as the Candyman and fucking Mr. Sweet. I love villains like that, even if they are crap. Come on. yeah, all in all, I'd say it's stronger than last week's episode. Don't really get the hate for it, if I'm honest. And yeah, overall I kind of enjoyed this one, even if the rest of the world is against that idea. Yes, I recognise that it can be improved. Yes, I recognise that it may not have been enjoyable for a lot of people for various reasons that I don't necessarily think apply to me, but I can see the reasoning behind those opinions. Yeah, I'm one of the few people on the internet that actually respects other people's opinions. I know. Weird, right? So yeah, that was my thoughts of episode 5, clumsily stitched together into a 15-minute video where hopefully it made some sense and people can get what I'm trying to say about this one. So all in all, I kind of enjoyed it way more than most people did. Didn't find it really boring for the most part, and think it's kind of unfairly hated on, but that's just my opinion. So if you liked this video, then please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out some of my other Doctor Who related videos if you're into that sort of thing, please, because you know, I put effort into them, so maybe give them a go. Universe Database Part 6 will be out tomorrow. Maybe check out some of my other non-Doctor related videos if you want, or just watch these, or just watch this if this is your first time here then. If you don't come back after this, then don't really blame you, to be honest, but that was all, and yeah, that was everything. So I'll see you in the next video if you decide to come back. Regardless of that, just have a good day. Yeah, see ya.